Color, color everywhere. There is color in every single second of our lives. From the moment we get up from bed to the time we go back to bed at night. There is color in every single minute, every single second of our life. We even dream in colors sometimes. The world looks beautiful, but what makes it beautiful are the colors. The landscapes are beautiful. The sunset is beautiful. The night sky is beautiful. The mountains are beautiful. The beaches are beautiful. But what makes these things beautiful are the colors. As one can describe their beauty through colors and colors alone. We do see all these colors every day. We just see them but do not notice them. There is a huge difference between seeing and noticing. God's greatest gift to the nature is color, which everyone cannot find. Only those who seek after the color of the nature can find it and appreciate it and enjoy its beauty. There is color in everything in this world. Water is said to be colorless, but often painted and picturized as blue. The nights are painted or picturized as dark blue, filled with stars that look like pearls. The beaches are golden and yellow as wheat, that have white foam at the end that draw and attract everyone's feet. We use colors even to symbolize various moods and feelings. Red is often symbolized as anger, white as peace, and pink as love. The poet Dorothea Maclecker, in her poem, states that she is often soothed and calmed down by the colors of the world. This can be stated in her poem in her lines: If I am tired, I call on these to help me to dream and dawnlit skies. Lemon and pink or faintest, coolest lilac float on my soothed eyes. The poet says that she will fight and find color even though she is blind. The poet does not give even a slightest hint of her blindness throughout the entire poem. She reveals it at the end through the lines: Thanks be to God who gave me the strength to hold it even though I was stricken blind. The poet is blind but is still able to appreciate the beauty of the nature and the beauty of God's creation. The poet here tries to draw an emotional connect to the readers at the end as to how lucky are those who can see and enjoy the colorful world. Throughout the poem, the readers are busy imagining and drawing a picture in their minds of every single line due to the words and the descriptive narration given by the poet, such as Larkspur Mountains, saffron sunset, and the sky that has stars. All these make the readers imagine and picturize everything in their head. Picture of a sun setting, a picture of the night sky, a picture of the huge mountains. The poet definitely has drawn a very good connect with the readers. Let me now introduce you to a person who was born blind, but often goes around giving talks and lectures on colors and also clarifies various questions of people regarding the blind people.
I guess one of the things you guys are the most curious about is color. How does it work for me? What is it? I don't know. So being blind since birth, I've never seen color. I don't have any concept of what it is. I mean, I've never seen anything. Right? There's this whole part of vocabulary, of language, that doesn't mean anything to me. Over the years, just people have tried to explain color to me, and I just don't understand it. I think the best way to show you is to try and explain to someone who's never heard before what the ocean sounds like, or what the birds sound like. And that's where color is for me. Because somebody who's never heard doesn't know what those things are, has no concept, none. And people will try and explain a sense with another sense. It's like the way this smells, maybe that's what a particular color, what? So you're going to tell me you're going to explain what color looks like by my nose? That doesn't make any bloody sense at all. So when somebody says something's red to me, I don't quite get it. I know that red is fire, or a stoplight is red. Or when someone says you're in the red, that means you're in some trouble, like financial trouble. Again, just stuff that I picked up from hearing about it, but I don't know what it looks like. Blue. Blue is the water is blue. Cold or ice is blue. The sky is blue. Now, how can the sky and ice be the same thing? That's weird to me, but what's that? Same color. Same color means two completely different things. I don't get it. I hear a lot about orange. Is an orange actually orange? The fruit? I know nothing rhymes with it. There's nothing that rhymes with orange, is there? Way to go, orange. Way to be involved in poetry and song. Black. What's black? Black is supposed to be all the colors all smushed together. And then white is the absence of color? So when I hear black and white, to me they're just opposites, right? Because one has everything and the other has none. And then there are things that don't have color. Like water. But it doesn't have color, but the ocean does. I don't get that. Color is hard. How do you sighted people keep them all straight? I can't even think of anything that's indigo. A car. Right? They always have weird colors for cars. I remember one time, a long time ago, I was buying a car with somebody. And they said, how about heather mist? I was like, what? I've never even heard of that. Nothing else in the world is heather mist.